I woke up about an hour ago. It's currently 2:50 p.m. and man, did my body need some rest. I have been really pushing myself and pushing myself and pushing myself. And I really enjoy pushing myself. There's something about it that just it's just something that I enjoy doing. So it feels good to finally get some rest and chill. Just be able to process things, man. Just doing some reflection. I feel like I've just been so hurt, and I have been trying to deal with that sense of hurt or feeling hurt through maybe acquiring more status or looking a certain way and wanting to be successful. But it's a complex thing. It's not just like linear, like a black and white thing. There's so much that goes into it. I also feel like there's like blood in the water when it comes to my book, and I am just thinking about like escaping the matrix. And I'm like, man, I don't want to trade time for dollars anymore. And I've been putting a lot of pressure on myself because I have been making a very strong attempt to commercialize my art, which I think is fine, but I have lost track of what I'm doing this for. And it's just like I just want to have fun, dude. I just want to enjoy my life. And yeah, it is fun posting on YouTube, and it's very fun like figuring it out and problem solving. It's very confusing. There's so much information that's going into my head, and there's so much that I can do and so many different directions that I can go. And part of me feels like it's me against the world. And truth be told, I think I'm just really upset, man. I think I'm just really hurt. There's a close relationship that I have that I've never really had strife with in my life, and over the last 6 or 8 months or so, I like that relationship has taken a couple big hits, a couple really big hits, and it's just it's hurtful, dog. You know, and I don't know how to deal with it. I don't know how to process it. I don't know how to make sense of it, and I feel betrayed, and I'm so hurt, and I'm sure they're also hurt as well. But it's also like tough because like I'm standing like I'm standing up for myself as well. It's like I don't have control over what this person thinks or how this person feels. And, I feel like over the last 6 or 8 months, I learned at least that we see things completely fucking different. We have two completely different ways of how we see the world. Completely different. And that's challenging because I want to connect with this person. And I know they want to connect with me, and we've always had a great relationship. And for me, I feel like I'm not going to compromise on being myself. I'm going to be myself. There's no way that I'm going to compromise on that. There's no way. I'm going to be myself to the biggest that I can be because it makes me feel good. And they don't like how I conduct myself. They don't like how I think. They don't like how I move. They don't like the position that I'm in life. And I crave their acceptance. And it hurts so bad to not get it. It hurts so much. Damn, it hurts. And like this relationship is like probably like the closest relationship that I've had in my life, bro. Actually, like three of like the closest relationships that I've had in my life, like are like not the closest, like three out of four people that I've had the closest relationships with, I am having challenges with right now. And there are issues over me being who it is that I am. And it sucks. It fucking sucks. Three people that I want to share laughs with, three people that I want to be accepted by so badly. And I would love to be the person who is just like, whatever, fuck them then. It's challenging because I love them so much. And they mean a lot to me. And I mean a lot to them. And I'm sure it's like the hurt goes like both ways. It's like not only am I getting hurt, but I'm sure they're also getting hurt. But it sucks when it's like it's over the fact of me just expressing myself to my fullest, you know? It's like I'm different and I make different decisions and I make different choices. I don't live like most people. I'm an individual. I I don't buy into societal programming. At least I do my best not to. At least I feel like I think for myself. I feel like mushrooms really like open up my eyes and life is different when you do psychedelics. Like psychedelics are so powerful because they actually do change your life like permanently. And I'm more at peace from taking them. And I will say this, I don't advocate towards taking drugs or anything, or even psychedelics. I recommend that if you're curious about it, do your research, do plenty of research, and make a decision from there. This is not for everybody. I know several people who should absolutely not do it. And it has like opened the way that I look at the world. It's changed the way I look at the world because it caused me to naturally just question a bunch of things and just realize the absurdity of life, that we're all living on this globe together. Nobody knows what is happening. Nobody knows what's going to happen when we die. Nobody even knows what the fuck we're doing here on this planet, how we got here, why we got here, or why we're here. What does this all mean? There's so much. It's like information overload. And one of our primary needs as humans is the need to feel certain. Certainty is big. And for a lot of people, they cling to religion because it gives them a sense of certainty. It makes them feel less scared. This is my interpretation. I'm not some kind of super genius and I understand why people do none of that. However, it does give people a sense of direction. And for me, I I couldn't possibly date a religious girl. Someone who religion is very important to her, like Christianity, absolutely not. Or if they're like hardcore Muslim, I can't do it. I'm not religious in any way. I don't cling to these like principles. And it's tough because the three relationships that I have, like they take that very seriously. So it becomes a debate of what's right and what's wrong. And with them trying to change me, trying to mold me into something that they feel is acceptable. And I think they mean well, like it's a challenging world, man. And it's easy to look at me being 28 years old, not having much money, or actually presently, or as I filmed this video, having no money at all, living with my parents, and then to look at that picture and say something's wrong here. And not just that, but like me investing in myself and my like self-education with personal development over the last 9 years, it's easy for them to be like, look, that stuff does not work. It makes sense. I understand where they are coming from. But I feel something different inside. I believe that I'm going to be successful beyond my wildest imagination. I don't know when that'll happen, but I'm confident that it will. And they come from a different time, from around being around different people, and they just believe that the world is this small sliver in terms of this is correct. And they want me to fit into that. Anyway, that's where I'm at right now. It's currently 12:44 a.m. and I am going to edit a video right now. Right now, what I'm doing is I'm posting a video once a day, and I'm at this point right now in my, I guess, YouTube journey where I don't really like, for this next video, I don't necessarily have like a clear storyline. I have a couple clips over the last few days that are kind of incomplete. So I think I'm just going to put those together. And all of them, they're just about the struggle. You know, someone tipped me $5 at Chili's, and I had $1 to my name. So, but I had to get to work the next day. So I spent my last $6, right? And then it's just like feeling bummed about my relationships, people that I really love and care about that I have craved acceptance from for a very long time. Just putting these together, and I almost didn't post a video today. I didn't really care so much about it. I've been feeling a little, I've been feeling a lot of stress. Actually, I've been putting a lot of pressure on myself, and today and recently, I just want to connect to just having fun and doing things for the sake of doing them. And I've noticed my mental health has also taken a massive hit because I've been back on social media and I've been consuming and I've been checking my story a million times and checking the stories of others and, being on threads and being on X. Like, you know, it's been scrambling my brain. And I have felt a huge decline in my mental health because of the consumption, but not only that, but like not having money. And then here I am working at this job, at a restaurant. And, part of me also feels like I'm being judged from, family members in terms of like, what is it that I'm doing with my life? Where am I headed? Where am I going? all this kind of stuff. And not only that, I'm like also thinking about like, for some reason, even though like there's a lot of people I didn't really like at my last job, there are people that I really fucked with though. But like the people that I do fuck with, like nobody's like responding to my texts. And um like so I've also been thinking about like their potential opinions, because when I left the restaurant I said that my book was starting to take off. And when I said that, I meant that genuinely. Like, bro, it's taking off in a way where like it's getting excitement. I think I can push this to become very successful in a short period of time. So I think, maybe to them I look like a liar, but also like all they did was talk shit about each other behind their backs. And it's like, man, why is it that I want to be liked so badly by people who um I'm not gonna like do anything with in the future collaboratively, and people that I see building my life with, and um, being concerned with my reputation, and looking a certain way, maybe looking like a liar to them. So there's been a lot of noise in my head lately. But I did go to jujitsu tonight, and jujitsu was awesome. I'm glad that I went, and it felt good to be in that community again, because I took a month off because I thought I wanted to conserve on my expenses, and I wanted to go all in on my book. So I put my jujitsu membership on hold. So it's my first day back in a month. And it felt so good, not just to be around the community, but like for me, like my subconscious fuel, like I am fueled by connection, and I've been feeling very lonely. And I needed to be around my tribe. I just needed to be around my people. And physical touch is my primary love language as well. And not only that, but I have come a long way in jujitsu, and it's something that I'm actually pretty good at now, which is so cool, dude. It's I'm still a white belt. I've been practicing jujitsu for a little bit over a year, total. Um, Granted, if I maybe can continue to train this year, hopefully I can get my next belt promotion to become a blue belt. And like blue belts, they can just mop up people who don't know jujitsu whatsoever, just completely just demolish them. And I remember getting totally destroyed by blue belts, and still getting destroyed by blue belts. And but it does feel good, man. Like for me, because I just remember when I first started, man. Like I was I was horrible, and relatively I still am horrible. Like there are so many people who can just destroy me easily, easily. However, I am finally at the point where I feel like I can defend myself from the average person. Like the average person is like is going to get absolutely fucking destroyed by me in a fight, an untrained person, even if they're bigger than me. And to me that feels really good. To me that is that's awesome. It's really awesome, considering that for many months I would just get choked out and my joints manipulated and just absolutely destroyed over and over and over and over again. And then, losing to this kid who's like 16 years old, and just like I remember I was training for like 4 or 5 months, and there was a a few guys who came into the jujitsu school who were coworkers, and they began to train. And I remember one of them, after like a couple weeks training or a month training, because he was a lot more aggressive than I was and more athletic than I was, and uh, he ended up tapping me. And I had been training for like 5 months at that point, and I hadn't tapped anybody at that point. I got my first submission 6 months into training jujitsu, and I remember just being like, "Fuck, man! Like, am I getting good at this? Like, I'm just getting destroyed over and over and over again." And the fact that somebody can just come in and within a short period of time be able to beat me, oh man, like it was very humiliating. And these days, I feel a lot more confident in my jujitsu skills, and I feel good about my jujitsu skills, and uh, it feels good to just like do something that I'm good at, and it's like awesome to think like I hit the main milestone that I wanted to hit in jujitsu, which is to be able to defend myself from the average person, even if they were bigger than me. I've hit that milestone, and that feels so good. And now it's like, wow, like let me just do jujitsu just to do jujitsu because I love it, because I enjoy it, because I appreciate the tribe, and um, oh man, it's it's so beautiful. And just to think about the level of skill that I can get to, like, dang, to think about purple belt, which I could get it, after 4 years of training from now at this point. Like, if I train consistently for the next 3 or 4 years, yeah, I think I'd have a purple belt. So it took me a while to get there. Um, but like to think of me having like my purple belt, and it felt good to go. It felt really good. And then I called a good friend of mine who I haven't spoke to in a while, and we had a good conversation. And I'm just trying to figure it out, man. I'm just taking it step by step, step by step. But I'm like, my main priority is like right now, at least, I'm trying to de-stress myself as much as I can and just connect more to like fun and enjoyment in life. But today was so needed too. I actually got a good sleep. I went to sleep like at 2:30 in the morning last night. I was up watching Better Call Saul, and I woke up like at 1:40 p.m. the next day, or the same day, I guess. And dude, it feels so good to like get rest and not have to like think about waking up for a job, for my job, because I'm off. So yeah, it felt good just to be able to sleep in, and because I've been pushing myself a lot. I've been pushing myself so much. I watched this Alex Hormozy video. I haven't watched the Alex Hormozy video in a while, but it's this one here. It's a really good one. Really, really good one. At the end, he mentioned documenting your life when it's like challenging. This is a really good video. I feel like this is a video that like I want to listen to like over and over and over and over again. Like this video is like very specific to like what it is that I need like right now in my life, because of like the mindset shifts that are in this video that like I've been trying to hold on to. Like I've been having these thoughts in terms of like, man, I need to get my ass like back to like a Tony Robbins event, and like I need to reconnect with like the world of personal development, because like yes, I know it, and yes, I have spent a lot of time practicing those principles, but like you got to continuously refresh your brain on those things, and you got to continuously remind yourself, and you got to keep it top of mind, because being around people who aren't into that, like that stuff, loses its power. And you got to keep that at the forefront. The world doesn't naturally gravitate towards that. So you need to be the person who intentionally seeks that out. So, but yeah, he said, make sure that you document right now when the times are tough. And I was like, man, that just made me feel so good. Like I really needed to hear that. And yeah, I really appreciate that. So like it just gave me like motivation as well to to work. I uploaded a video a couple hours ago, but like, all right, let me put up another video before I go to sleep. Because like, man, I feel like my morale has been a little low lately, and I just got to keep going. I just got to keep going. One song I've been listening to a lot is "Jail" by Kanye West. I love it. Guess who's going to jail tonight? It's such a great song. Anyway, it's 12:58 a.m. I'm about to, uh, get a video put together and rendered, and yeah, I'm excited about that. A couple quick things before I stop this video. I am, is a couple things I'm thinking about. First and foremost is I'm thinking about like filming a commercial for the Real Nigga Bible and putting it on X. I think that's a good platform to advertise it. So I'm like thinking of like what I can do to like advertise, what kind of commercial would I write. And then so um, I picked up this book again, Triggers by Joe Sugarman. And I remember when I went to Genius Network, Joe Sugarman's daughter was there because Joe Sugarman had passed away. And Joe said that one time in one of his ads early on, Joe Polish's ads early on, he used all of the triggers that are in this book for an ad that did pretty well. And I'm like, oh yeah, you know what? Because I'm like, yeah, I think that'd be fun to shoot an ad and shoot a commercial, but like how do you do that? Meaning, how do you create a successful ad? What does that look like? I don't know what that looks like. I could go down the route of um, just like winging it and being a full artist and like I'm gonna do it my way, but like I don't even know what that would even look like. But if I want to, not just that, but if I want to do something, like I want to do it to like the best that I can do it. Like I want to do it very intentionally. So, yes, I have begun to start rereading this, but the book that I was reading tonight earlier was the book called No More Mr. Nice Guy. I forget by who it's the author, but that's a great book as well. And it's helping me just realize things about myself and my childhood. Why is it that I have been this nice guy for so long? And um, it's cool. It's a good book. It's a good book. But I'm really excited to dive into triggers and nothing immediately, but down the road, start to like create an ad. Maybe it's an idea. I may not do it. Um, but like I like the idea as far as like creating an ad and coming up with ideas and what that would look like and putting together an ad for the Real Nigga Bible. That sounds fun, and I think there's a lot of potential for it to be fun. And of course, there are different ways you can go about it, right? Like one way in terms of marketing the book, you can go the Billy May style. Hey, it's Billy Mays here, or like, hey, it's Greg Santos here, right? And then you can do the Real Nigga Bible like infomercial, like, yeah, that can be a funny angle, but like, eh, it doesn't really like feel too exciting for me to do. And there's also like I like the idea in terms of like a Curb Your Enthusiasm kind of like episode about like the Real Nigga Bible, like where it has that Curb Your Enthusiasm kind of feel to it. But that also doesn't really sit right with me because Curb Your Enthusiasm is like Larry David's like thing, but it's not like Greg Santos's thing. Although I like the show, that's like we have different ways in which we create art, and I'm really grateful he has it the way that he has it, and I'm gonna do it the way that I do it. So I'm excited to like get more ideas and try things out. I'm off tomorrow, so I get to get more rest, which I'm very excited about. Yeah, so I'm gonna read some of this book, get a video edited, and maybe watch an episode or two of Better Call Saul and call it a night. 2:13 a.m. and my video is almost done uploading, and I have been reading Triggers, and it's so good. And the reason why I picked up this camera to record is because I've been like, as I'm reading this book, this is all about like creating like powerful advertisements. And like on the platform X, they actually have the smallest amount of like um, costs per click on that platform, and it's also a platform about free speech. So I can create an ad on X that I know about the Real Nigga Bible. Like, I don't think I can get away with that on Instagram. I can't get away with that on Facebook. I don't know if I can get away with that on YouTube, but I'm very confident I can get away with it on X because that platform is all about free speech. And as I'm, writing down like these, like all these triggers in terms of like persuasion triggers, I am thinking about like, okay, the commercial is beginning to form in my head, just a little bit, little inklings of it, and I'm like, oh, whatever, okay, we'll see. I like the idea of it, but I don't really know how I would even do it. And I just read one of the triggers, and I just thought of myself, okay, how would I address that, right? Because there's two um, psychological triggers, sales triggers that are very powerful. The first one is like if there's a problem with your product, like bring it up immediately, like bring it up right away. Because like it also does help you come off as more honest, but like we need to get that out of the way as soon as possible. We need to raise the objections that are in our prospect's head, right? So I'm like, okay, well, what would some objections people would have in their head? Number one, like, is it for me, right? Can I be a real nigga, like that, right? And then the second psychological trigger is you got to resolve it, right? So you got to bring up the objection, and then you got to resolve the objection. So like, what came to mind for me was like, okay, my book is small. it's a small book. And, people are gonna be like, well, is it worth it? It's small. Is it even a real book? And like, so I have a couple jokes that I heard from other comedians talking about my book, about how it's small, and like using those jokes in the ad to resolve the problem. Like, I think one of them was like, the rule book has changed. We can get away with a lot now. Another thing I'm thinking of is saying something like, um, I wanted to write a Bible that people would actually read. So, it handles that objection, right? Because people are like, I don't know if it's worth it. It's small, like, but like when you bring it up and you address it, it has power, right? And what popped into my head was like, okay, like, yeah, I like this. I'm like, yeah, I'm enjoying this. And then two words came to my mind where I was like, I need to pick up the camera and I need to document this right away. The two words that came to mind was hell yeah. And that has been a filter for me for a very long time. Like, if the answer isn't hell yes, then the answer is no. I heard that from Derek Sivers. If the answer isn't hell yeah, then the answer is no. I was talking to this like super cute Egyptian chick the other day. Super cute, very beautiful. I mean, like this nice Egyptian cinnamon skin tone with her curly ass hair and her white, workout sweater that just like hugged her body so well. And she tells me basically like the people who, all people at the table, they had met through church, and it was very obvious that like religion was like a big part of their life. And I'm like, that's a hell no for me. That's a hell no. I know she's really beautiful, but the answer isn't hell yes. Like, no. But I'm glad I found out, you know? So, yeah, I want to do this. And we'll see, will I really do? Is that something that's going to happen immediately? What's going to happen with Operation Megaphone? I think I can do both. I think I can have Operation Megaphone, send out some free copies to people. In the meantime, get on podcasts. And then also, like, while I'm doing that, putting my energy and effort towards creating this ad, or maybe I just go all in on the ad and like start to learn what it's like to do paid advertising. And who knows, man? I don't know, but this is where I'm at right now. I like the idea of creating the ad. It's especially like it's starting to form in my head, and as I go through the more psychological triggers, I think I'm gonna be like, oh, I can use it. I can I can integrate it like that. I think it's gonna kind of piece together once I know, like, okay, this is how I'm going to uh, use this. How I can use this trigger in my sales message, and then where does that belong? So uh, it's really cool, dude. It's really cool. I'm not sleepy whatsoever, and I just want to keep reading. So that's what I'm gonna do. It's 2:21 a.m. April 10th. There's a really great song by Jack Harlow. It's called They Don't Love It. If you haven't heard that song, go listen to it. But think about that. Basically, the hook of the song goes, They don't love it. They don't love it. Just listen to it. It's so good, dude. But I think about that when I'm, working on my things. Like, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, and I uploaded a fucking YouTube video, and then I'm reading, and I'm like, but I'm like enjoying this. Like, yes, I've been stressed, but like, it's meaningful to me. This is very meaningful to me, and like, I fucking love this shit, bro. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I forgot to mention that yesterday I texted my rich friend uh, to see if I can get an investment for $2,500 for to purchase 1,000 copies of my book to send it out to people for Operation Megaphone, which is basically a huge list of comedians and like MMA people to send my book to and hopefully get on podcasts. And the reason why I texted my friend is because they have autism and they don't do a great job. They don't feel most comfortable expressing. She doesn't feel most comfortable expressing herself through like speech, especially like on the spot speech, and she needs time to like process things. So I actually wrote it out and just sent it in a text. Um, I just explained it just really like really briefly and generally. Like I may put the text here, I may not. I might forget, so I don't know. And I haven't heard anything back. But you know what? Regardless of what happens, dude, it's like I'm playing the long game here. Like it's gonna take some time for the real nigga Bible to really be able to catch momentum and catch fire, and or it may not take that long. I have no clue. But regardless of what happens, it's like it's exactly what is supposed to happen. I feel like life, the universe, is always leading me to exactly where I'm supposed to be. So like the doors that are closed, uh, the things that don't work out that I want to work out, it's actually setting me up for something that's actually even better. I just got to be more patient. So like whatever doors, I'm like, okay, that didn't work, that didn't work, that didn't work. I just got to just remind myself like, hey, have trust. The universe is going to take care of you, like regardless, because the universe is taking care of you your whole life. You like when I lost my health for 13 months, that shit sucked, bro. Like there was nothing that I wanted more than my motherfucking health. I wanted to work hard. I wanted to push. Like I wanted to be able to do things like how I'm doing right now. You know, let's see what time is it right now. Motherfucking 2:30 in the morning, still getting work done. You know what I'm saying? Like to have that energy, and it was hell, bro. It sucked. It fucking sucked because like I couldn't physically do things. Like sometimes I would have a day where I am productive, right? Okay, finally, bro, I'll be in bed the next 2 days, dog. Like only getting up to use the bathroom and eat. And when I'm in the bathroom, I don't even have enough strength to really like stand still, like stand firmly on where I'm at. I'm having to shift my weight. I'm trembling, like fucking my whole body's trembling, like dog. It sucked. And like my one of my greatest assets is my ability to work hard, and I had to figure out how to do things in a way that didn't require hard work. I had to figure out how to live differently and take a different approach, and also like come to peace. Like, hey, it's possible that this could be the rest of your life, bro. I ain't never dealt with no health crisis like that before, so it was uh it was extremely painful. But dog, I am fucking so happy that that happened. I am so happy because like it was during that time where I came up with the principles in which I live my life. And it's not like I'd sat there and decided what are my principles. I finally had time to reflect on my life. I had just got back from a year of travel, and I needed time to process all of that. I needed time to make sense of everything. I needed that time to go through it with a fine tooth comb and think about the stresses, the frustrations, the anxieties, the joy, the happiness, the connection, and really get to see, like, okay, what is it that I like? What is it that I don't like? And what is it that I want more of? What is it that I want less of? And I was just able to like think about my own life and my own experiences, and just to think like, and just to have more clarity in terms of like just who it is that I am. And I wouldn't have been able to have those deep, deep levels of clarity without losing my health. So really, it was a massive fucking blessing in disguise. Like, um, I feel like what it was like a caterpillar, right? The caterpillar goes into a cocoon, and I was in that cocoon for 13 months, and then I emerged as a beautiful butterfly. So the same thing with this book. Like, although it may not seem like I'm really making progress, and I'm broke, and um, I'm fucking, working at Chili's and shit, it's like, dog, like, this is exactly what's supposed to happen. Like, you're gonna be really grateful for it in the future. Um, Even though we don't know what it's gonna lead to, and the power of it, it's meant to happen, dog. So yeah, no matter what happens, it's exactly what's supposed to happen. And if I get investment, awesome. If I don't, okay, well, yeah, like, no matter what happens is exactly what's supposed to. So that's it. I'm gonna go back to reading. All right, 3:21 a.m. I feel like I could keep going physically, but mentally, my brain is pretty tired. So I'm gonna call it. But I have some really good ideas, a lot of fun. I'm enjoying this a lot.